Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of The Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and paraphernalia. Folks, this one is chock full of good stuff. You are going to be as excited as I am, I promise. But first of all, I just want to thank you for joining me, and I want to thank miskatonicbooks.com for sponsoring the show. miskatonicbooks.com, I think you know them by now. They are the best international purveyor of esoteric and occult books. If whatever book you're looking for, as long as it's of high quality, as long as it's usually small publishers, right? Publishers that can focus on maybe more advanced stuff. Maybe they can focus on the beauty of the packaging as well. They consider the book itself to be a sacred object containing sacred texts. Well, miskatonicbooks.com tend to stock those books. So go ahead and check out miskatonicbooks.com. Their front page is always a delight to browse through. You're going to find a load of stuff that maybe you already know, maybe some new stuff that you've never heard of. Definitely many very, very difficult to find books that have been published at very small numbers, and Miskatonic Books are well, usually manage to get one or two copies of those difficult to get books. So very, very cool stuff, and a very helpful place to go and find some high quality esoteric and occult books. There we go. That's miskatonicbooks.com. Go and check them out. The links are down in the description. All right, I'm going to start off today, folks, with released by Theon Publishing called Freemasonry in the Haitian Imaginary. So it's a pre-order. The standard copy is, the standard hardcover is at $85, and then of course they've usually got the Auric super deluxe editions, and this one's going to be at $395. Full descriptions of what those entail: the fine hardcover, the edition. Let's see, they're saying that it's going to be bound in a high quality carmine fine red cloth. I approve. Features a printed and embossed cover, lettering on rounded spine, 735 copies. So that's really cool. The Auric edition. Here we are. This is fully hand bound in luxurious full aniline black leather. Unique high-quality photo print on the front, gold embossed, and raised bands on rounded spine. All the good stuff. Yes, let's see what it's about, folks. Freemasonry in the Haitian Imaginary is a groundbreaking collaboration between scholar Catherine Smith and photographer Leah Gordon, unveiling one of Haiti's most intricate symbolic worlds. Bringing together rigorous research and revelatory imagery, the book shows how Freemasonry became woven into Haiti's revolutionary origins, political imagination, and spiritual life, not as a European import, but as both a universal brotherhood and a tradition transformed and made distinctly Haitian. That sounds quite exciting. Let's scroll through, get an idea of what's going on here. All right, could be an interesting read, right? So that's the very, very latest by Theon Publishing. I do recommend going to read the entire description over here. It looks like an exciting new offering. Theon Publishing's books are invariably very interesting, and they put a nice effort on presentation, which I appreciate. Hexen Press have got two new books out. Punakula Poleb, probably the wrong pronunciation of that, a book of Estonian Malefica, Troy Trevoli Vonda. So let's see, it's a deep dive into the malefic heart of Estonian witchcraft, a pocket-sized grimoire collecting the maleficia, nocturnal forces, devils and werewolves of Estonian law, alongside the tales of trials and the histories of those condemned for consorting with the baneful powers. Both folkloric testimony and a work of forbidden art, The Red Village Burns stands as a unique Estonian black book, a rare guide to the sinister currents of Baltic sorcery. There we go. Sounds interesting. potentially. The manuscript opens with the many faces of the Christian devil in Estonia, each revealing layers of fear, resistance, and dark fascination. It then conjures witches, both real and imagined, and records the spells and maledictions whispered in fields, barns and courtrooms, charms to steal milk and butter, curses to twist bones, incantations to summon toads in an enemy's belly, and transformation rites that turn men and women into wolves. You can see me smiling. It sounds pretty horrific, actually. All right. It also reveals how Estonian lycanthropy, so we're talking about werewolves, right, diverges from other European forms, rooted less in lunar madness than in the will and craft of witches. To conclude, Punakula Poleb unveils a neglected thread of European sorcery, available for the first time in English, the sinister arts preserved in Estonian folklore, shaped by centuries of occupation, Christianization, and persecution. That sounds really exciting to me. I'm sure it sounds pretty exciting to many of you out there as well. So that's being published by Hexen Press. And let's see, it's available both paperback and hardcover, so that's exciting. That's good stuff. All right. Let me check the price on the hardcover. 33 euros is very reasonable. All right. And then we've got Aradia's Hidden Hand by A.D. Mans. This is a pre-order. So this, let's see, The Untold Life of Roma Lister. Aradia's Hidden Hand. Aradia, maybe. The Untold Life of Roma Lister uses never before analysed archival and epistolary materials to argue that Roma Lister, a hitherto unstudied British-Italian witch, folklorist and close friend of Charles Godfrey Leland, played a key role in the crafting of Aradia, or the Gospel of the Witches, which recently got a republishing by Blackletter Press, by the way. One of the most important texts in the modern revival of witchcraft. Although Lister has largely been forgotten, Mans unearths new information about her intimate connections to magical practitioners across Tuscany and the Roman countryside, as well as her secret activities as a medium during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Featuring a foreword by Maria J.P. Cuervo, founder of Heliopolis, Aradia's Hidden Hand also includes an array of unpublished Italian legends and folk tales collected by Lister, in addition to her essays on magic and religion. All right. Overall, the book unpacks Lister's Odyssean life and reveals her important role as one of the hidden women who helped pave the way for a new religion of witches. All right, that could be exciting. Any information about when these are being released? I don't see anything. I might just be blind. Who knows? But yes, Hexen Press are well established, and I can directly recommend them. This one is out. This is not a pre-order, so that's great. All right, news from Haitian Press. Claves Spirituum, the follow-up book to Claves Intelligentiarum by David Rankin, which is going to feature high up in my top 10 books of the year. So this is the follow-up book, which explores some very, very interesting topics, and it has been eagerly awaited for quite a while. There was a little delay in the shipping, but it is now shipping, right? So it started shipping on 17th of November. Those of you who have ordered it should be receiving some notifications very soon, if you haven't already received your notifications. And I hope that Haitian Press will send me a copy, although they are selling out very, very fast, and I wouldn't blame anyone if I didn't get a copy. But then there's also The Wandering School of Secrets, which is also shipping now, by Simon Dider. So this one is also shipping. So let's see. The Wandering School of Secrets, a prospectus by Simon Dider, is a manual and syllabus of sorcery for developing proficiency in magic for daily life, aimed at the itinerant magician. Without eschewing discipline, the author emphasizes learning magic through immersion by doing magic. Who would have thought this? Yeah, I mean, and yet, it so many people find it difficult to take that step, right, of actually doing the magic. So yeah, this is magical growth stripped down to the essentials. Sounds like a useful book, right? A journey through the heteropraxy of sorcery as a subversive and secretive lifestyle that benefits the practitioner and those they choose to help. So drawing on a wide range of sources from ancient Greek myths and magic, Welsh folklore, the grimoire tradition, Shinto, and many others, the core principles and essential practices are covered in a lucid and effective manner, dealing with spirits, the ancestors, nature spirits, using planetary magic, herb lore, magical language and music, astrology, and effective timing are all explored as core components of developing your personal practice of sorcery. This sounds great, really great. This book is an inspirational work which lays the groundwork in front of the reader in an incredibly accessible form, setting their feet on the road less traveled and giving pointers to all necessary tools. Really very, very cool, and so that is shipping as well right now. Let's continue, folks. Let's see. Frater Acher has went through a period a couple of years ago of releasing basically a book every week, or at least that's how it felt. And then there's been a bit of there hasn't been so much coming from Frater Acher recently, circumstances, right? If you've wondered why things have been quiet on my side on the screen in recent weeks, on my side of the screen, this book is now nearly finished. One chapter still needs its conclusion. Then I will send the raw manuscript to José Gabriel Alegría Sabogal to see if it will be kissed by his muse. Those of you who don't know José's work, yeah, check him out. Your mind's going to be blown. In December, I will complete the appendix. Copy editing begins in January, with publication planned for the second half of 2026. So exciting stuff. I wrote this book with the thought that good advice is dear in these troubled times. Personally, I feel no affinity for the calls to real-world counter-revolution triggered by magical means. So I asked myself, why not simply despair? Take up smoking again, hang up the magical hat, and greet the apocalypse with a beer at dawn. Well, this book is the answer I found for myself. At the same time, it is the closest thing I have to offer to a classical grimoire, a compendium of core techniques that lead us along the practical Goetic path. So that sounds exciting. That sounds deeply personal and beautiful, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So it's called The Rooted Flame, a Goetic grimoire. So yeah, hopefully we'll get more details about that. I'll let you read the little excerpt that he's given us over here, that you can also find on Facebook and no doubt on Instagram as well, where Frater Acher is quite active. There we go. Let's move on to news from Cherubim Press. I believe there's only a couple of copies left of this hardcover. Do be aware that the hardcover does tend to be just simply a print-on-demand book, right? But those 4 copies left at the time of recording on Thursday, 20th of November 2025. So yeah, just those of you who really wanted to get a copy of this, if you're not members, seeing this on the day that I'm releasing it and waiting for Friday when I release this video to the general public, then yeah, there's a chance. Go and check it out. But yeah, this is the Complete Knowledge Lectures and Side Lectures of the Golden Dawn by Frater Acher. So Cherubim Press have been releasing actual documents from the Golden Dawn rather than from the Stella Matutina, right? Which the big Golden Dawn black book, that's actually Israel Regardie, of course. Those were actually documents from the Stella Matutina, which we assume are very similar to the Golden Dawn documents, but actually Frater Acher is releasing the actual Golden Dawn documents, which is very, very interesting. Every time a new book has been released by Cherubim Press, they have done a limited run on hardcovers, right? So they are print on demand. So it's just what do you call it? Perfect bound. I forget. I think it's called Perfect Bound. I haven't been talking about the structure of books for quite a while now. Where basically the pages are glued to the spine rather than Smith sewn, right? And it's just print on demand. However, then the books are re-released as paperbacks that you can actually purchase on Amazon. Usually about a year later, between 6 months and a year later. So don't fret if you can't get hold of one of these 4 copies for 115 euros. You can just wait for the paperbacks to be released very, very soon, no doubt. Good. And then there's the Illuminated Gulliver's Travel by Mattotti and Swift. What's exciting for me about this particular Kickstarter is that it's Beehive books, right? So this particular Beehive book collector's edition looks very nice, but yeah, as I say, what's exciting for me is that it is Beehive books, and therefore all of the previous Beehive books are available through this Kickstarter. I kind of like the illustrations on this particular Gulliver's Travels. Gulliver's Travels is, of course, an interesting indictment of the political and religious situation in Europe, I guess, at the time this was being written. And very, very much applicable to today. Always with these beautiful slip cases, always with a little hole there so that you can see the book on the inside. It looks very, very nice. But yeah, let me just scroll down a little bit to the other previous publications. Yeah, this lovely Solander case, like with a actually not a Solander case, or maybe a Solander case. I don't know what you call it, but with doors, right, with flaps. And these are the previous illuminated editions of other books. So a Wonder Book. What else? Carmilla, the Inferno, Dante's Inferno, which I think I mentioned when that was being released. Pinocchio as well. I think I mentioned that one. Was that when that was being released? So gorgeous, these editions. Really, really lovely. Voyage to Arcturus, David Lindsay, Great Gatsby, and so on. So you can go ahead and pledge on the Kickstarter for whatever book you're actually after, which is exciting. What else do we have? What's this? Magic of Eye planners. Right, we're getting to the end of the year, and of course many of you are looking at astrological and other sorts of planners. Let me see if I can find maybe United States would be good. Here we go, just to get some US prices. So the Magic of Eye happens to be a particularly nice magical planner, right? With all your usual astrological and zodiacal details, but it's very beautiful, right? I'd recommend hopping over to YouTube and checking out actually how beautiful this is. It's kind of expensive, right? $52 for the new 2026 Astro Planner in various colors, of course, it seems. But yes, generally I'm going to say that the quality that I've been able to see via these videos looks really on point. It looks really great. Okay, I've searched for this on Amazon, not able to find it. So it is possible that it's just through the Magister Volume I website. But as you just saw, they do ship internationally. So just pick your country and they'll ship to you. There we go. Let's see what else. Oh yes, a few books on the Amazon. So a couple of books actually by Marcus Katz released this week. So the Magister Volume I, The Order of Revelation, the Magister or Magister, in a series of 11 volumes, provides a comprehensive contemporary system of spiritual and magical development given as the Western Esoteric Initiatory System. The Magister surveys the past centuries of esoteric teachings, drawing upon primary source material including Aleister Crowley's handwritten diaries and notebooks, letters from Dion Fortune, unpublished materials from Samuel Liddell McGregor Mathers and Florence Farr, and little recognized work buried deep within the archives of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn and many other secret occult orders of the ages. This rarely seen material has been meticulously collated during the course of the author's travels to libraries and private collections throughout Europe and the USA over the past 4 decades. The Magister combines academic rigor with Katz and Wild's extensive practical experience and professional teaching discipline in order to provide profound material regarding Kabbalah, Tarot, Alchemy, Thelema, and more in a manner that is accessible and which facilitates practical application to a contemporary spiritual life. There we go. So that's Marcus Katz and Charlotte Wild, of course. I'm sorry, Charlotte, for for not mentioning you there. The first volume in the series, The Order of Revelation, lays out the entire map of the esoteric spiritual ascent narrative. It provides an explanation of the grade system, its history, power, and function as a framework for magical and mystical experience, and of the aeons, including how they work in your life and their prediction for the future of human evolution. Volume 1 of the Magister also presents a complete overview of the study curriculum of the great magical orders of history, including the reader of a vast range of occult and esoteric realms, from ceremonial magic and shamanism to Mart, magic, and retrotemporal engineering. All right. The first Gazette in the Magister series also teaches techniques with the benefit of understanding the final destination, including solar adorations, banishing rituals, and much more. You'll learn to discover and fully experience the invisible knots that bind the universe in order to achieve magical effects. There we go. So yeah, folks, I'm kind of amazed by this. I'm quite excited and maybe a little bit surprised that I don't know more about it. This seems like a pretty big thing. So. Volume 1, you can see this is very much in the tradition of the equinox, right? Of Aleister Crowley's AA. What's the word that he used? Vehicle? No, that's not the word. Many of you probably know exactly what I'm looking for. So as a journal. Right, as a journal in many parts. I like the fact that it's in. Did he say in 11 parts? Yes, 11 volumes. So very much like the Equinox series. Interesting. Okay, and this is another one by Marcus Katz on his own this time. The Rites of the 12 Signs, a year of ritual for magic. Magical change. The secret rituals of a private magical order are revealed in this book by Marcus Katz. In the last decade of the 20th century, 2 adepts created 12-month a 12-month series of rituals which were attended by chaos magicians, Thelemites, witches, Ma'at, magicians, and occultists from around the world. Suitable for even beginners, these 12 rituals can transform your life and creative projects with the power of the zodiacal forces. In the zodiacal rituals, the author also presents a guide to sigil magic, how to write your own powerful invocations and focus your will to achieve magical effects. You will also experience the mysteries of the ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses. That sounds exciting too, doesn't it? So yeah, congratulations, Marcus, on a couple of pretty exciting releases there. So both of those available through Amazon. The links that you'll find down in the description are my Amazon associate links, and anyone who clicks on them and then makes a purchase, having reached Amazon via my links. So I really appreciate anyone who does that, because it gives me a small commission. It makes no difference to the price to you, but it makes my ends of months a little easier. So thank you very, very much for those of you who take the trouble to do that. Good news from B.J. Swain, a new book from B.J. Swain. Like on a regular week, this would be like number one item, right? Adjuring the Voice of the Glory, an approximation of late antique and early medieval Jewish magic and mysticism. So this was just released a couple of days ago. Before Kabbalah, Judaism gave birth to a rich and beautiful system of mysticism, complete with attendant magical literature. The earliest form of this is often called the Merkava, or the work of the chariot, and refers to the reflection on the vision of Ezekiel and the measurements of the body of God and the heavens. Possibly concurrent with this reflection upon these mystical teachings, or perhaps a development from them, came the Hekalot system, or the process of moving through the heavenly places to attain a vision of the throne of God. Before I go any further, folks, I just want to mention that, B.J. Swain's Familiar is among the essential books that I've taken with me to this flat, right? Familiar unto me, witches, sorcerers, and their spirit companions. Just very accessible and very common sense approach, and profoundly researched, right? Yeah, B.J. Swain takes this stuff seriously. Related magical texts provide and you can tell, related magical texts provide the foundation of much of the angelic and demonic magic of later European grimoires. Despite the richness and importance of this system, it has rarely, if ever, been explored as a practical system in accessible literature for the modern mystic and magician. Ooh, dear. In part, this is because very little of the material for this system was available in English until recently. And this book presents a method of reconstruction and approximation, a guide to creating a modern approach to this system, followed by a practical grimoire for fully engaging with it, both mystically and magically. So, yeah, I really recommend going to check this one out, and have a little read of what Sarah Mastros has to say about it. Very, very cool. All right, Jack Grail has got a novel out, folks. The year is 1927. A hearse is dredged from the Rio Grande containing a bloody handprint. A young man goes missing. A ghostly girl appears as rogue agent Frank Cale races to find the connection. He's hounded by goons, gangsters, corrupt cops, Klansmen, and his own savage history. To survive, he'll need more than luck in a world where everything is possible, nothing is forbidden, and the only language necessary is a vocabulary of violence. Sounds like fun, right? Very hard-boiled kind of noir novel. Really very exciting. And I love everything that Jack Grail does, and I'm sure that this is going to be just as exciting as everything else that he's done so far. He recently tried his hand at playwriting, came up with just the most amazing script. I guess that's not the way. It's just Bill. I don't know how you're supposed to call the script of a play. I think script is for movies, isn't it? Anyway, Jack Grail knows what he's doing and knows how to entertain an audience. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Good. All right, folks. A couple of card decks. First of all, the Talisman Oracle. Work with mystical sigils and powerful symbols in 44 black-edged cards. How did I not know about this gorgeous, gorgeous deck? Absolutely beautiful. And I think it's Benabel Wen who recently featured it. And I went looking and so nice. So nice. Yeah, so let's take a look here. Karmic Justice. Yeah, those of you watching probably already know if this is for you or not. I love this. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Magical power. What's this one? Concealment. That beautiful. Ugh. Yeah, and the backs of the cards. Lovely, lovely stuff. Per ardua ad astra. Through hardship to the stars. I knew per aspera ad astra. It makes per ardua makes sense as well. Good stuff. All right, and then there's this one. Now, folks, this has got 49 hours to go at the time of recording. So I'm going to actually release this video a little bit earlier in the day on Friday tomorrow, right? So that just a little bit earlier than usual, just so that some of you can actually back this, because I was shocked to find this tarot deck and to find how beautiful this tarot deck is, and to see that it's not funded yet. And the fact that I didn't know about this tarot deck maybe tells me why I didn't know about it. Maybe it's just not been advertised well enough. Oh my goodness, it is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And my main recommendation is to actually watch this little video over here, right? Just so you can see some of the illustrations. If I actually play the video, then I'll get a copyright strike, and nobody wants that. But it's just lovely, really, really lovely. And now, one thing that did surprise me, if I scroll down here, you'll be able to see that the first thing that comes up is a gold deck, the limited edition. And that's kind of a high price. And I think possibly many people who saw this just saw this 93 euros and went, no, that's too expensive. Because usually on Kickstarter, the lowest price is at the top. But actually, the standard deck, yeah, the silver standard deck is 33 euros, which is quite inexpensive for a beautiful deck like this one. So yeah, just scroll down a little bit, folks. That's where the good stuff actually is. So there's a book, there's a hardcover. You can get it as a PDF as well, I believe. You can get some art prints of the cards. But yeah, it's a really beautiful deck, and it would be a shame for this to not fund. So I've actually put in an order for myself. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, really, really lovely. Look at that. Might actually put that on the cover on the thumbnail for this video. I'll see. No promises, but not impossible. It looks so beautiful. Yes, all right. And then what else do we have? Well, my magical retreat. Many of you turned up. Thank you so much for the live stream that I did about this Heliopolis Sanctum. So this is happening on the 3rd to the 10th of September 2026. So many of you know a little bit about it already. I'm going to be exploring the feminine in the European magical current, and we're going to be going around the particular area of the south of France that is close to Rennes-le-Château. Many of you probably know about Rennes-le-Château. We'll be going to Carcassonne. We'll be eating some delicious food and just doing some deep magic. And so this is for 6 people only, just 6 spaces, right? The price is, it's adequate. It's the right price, and it's not accessible to everyone. I've got other courses that are accessible to many more people than this, but if you consider yourself quite well off, then, and you'd like a week where you're just doing magic, being taken care of with 5 other magic practitioners, going around some beautiful areas, visiting grottos where mystical apparitions have happened and so on, then come and check out the website and set up a meeting with Tonalise Hugas, who's organizing all of this through magicalretreats.com. So the way you do it is that you organize a one-to-one conversation with Tonalise, just a Zoom meeting, and she'll give you further details. She'll answer all of your questions and so on. To do that, just simply click on "I would like to see more," and you'll be taken to the website where you can, you'll find out the price there. You'll find out. Oh, by the way, if you're a Foolish Fish Patreon supporter at levels 3 and infinity, then you get a discount. But also there is a significant discount, like an early bird discount, if you order this before December, right? Before so it's definitely worth looking into quickly if you think this could be something that you'd like to gift to yourself or to a friend or to someone that you love very, very, very much. Then go and check it all out. It's going to be a lot of fun. There we are. What else? American Magick. As I told you, every single item this week is just amazing. So Poke Runyon, many of you know Poke Runyon, and if you don't, you should. There's a new documentary series, 4 parts, I believe. Unfortunately, it's not available in Poland. It's available in most other places in the world via Apple TV. It's available on YouTube. It's available on a couple of other places. All you need to do is do a quick YouTube search for American Magick, like this, and you'll find all the places where it is available, all the streaming services where it is available. So it's a 4-part television miniseries directed by John Royal that unveils Poke Runyon's Ordo Templi Astarte and Church of the Hermetic Sciences, following modern members through a powerful journey towards enlightenment. Poke Runyon is such a lovely figure to have given the occult a voice over the past decades. He's one of the originals, he's one of the great ones, and he's just such a lovely guy. I would love to see this. I don't use a VPN service, and so I won't be seeing it until it does become available in Poland. But if you're not living in Poland, it's likely that this is available to you already. There we go. And then finally, folks, this is my game of the week. Now, this is a game that was the artwork came first, and maybe you can tell. So it's called Vampire Lords. Oh, come on. Why do we have this in Polish? That makes no sense. There we go. Let's see, that's better. As the fires of war burn across the 15th century Romania, the vampires emerge from the shadows, ready to claim dominion over the realms of mortals. Will you rise to rival the legend of Vlad Dracula? Sink your teeth into this strategic board game combining area control and deck building mechanics. So yeah, it's probably easy to tell that that it's the artwork that drew me in on this one. I love the, black and white and red aesthetic, very grimoire-y. Yeah, it's nice, it's lovely. I probably won't back it, but yes, I think that if what I just read to you sounds interesting to you, and you like the idea of an attractively illustrated vampire board game, then yeah, this one could be potentially for you. What is that? Elixir Vitae for authors. Okay, folks, that's about it for me for this week. Thank you ever so much for watching. Don't forget that I'm running this Magic and Mysteries of Saturn course. I'll leave the links in the description. It's basically for anyone who's got things in their lives that they know that they're carrying, that they would like to release in order to make space for new abundance in 2026, right? So this is going to run in the first 2 weeks of December, just the first 2 Saturdays of December. I think it's the 6th and the 13th. I think that's right. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be very powerful magic, and it's one that I'm really looking forward to. So do check out my foolishfish.net website. You'll find all the details there. And yeah, that's going to be nice. And also, if you'd like to have a one-to-one conversation, those are still running. I'm still doing those one-to-one consultations where I read your tarot and we go a little bit into what is good for you, right? So there's also an option where we don't read your tarot, and you just tell me a little bit about your background, and I give you some recommendations based on what I've studied over the past couple of decades. That might actually be good for you, right? Useful for your way ahead. Just to give you some ideas there. But generally, many people will call like to get their tarot read, and then we look into ways of tweaking certain aspects of your life so that you can get on track for an outcome that is good for you, that you've actually chosen, and things like this. So yeah, we tend to have a lot of fun. And those details on how to book one of these one-to-one conversations can be found in the description. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you have the option to swipe left there and find the hype button, then that really helps, and I really appreciate anyone who actually goes ahead and does that. Just a big thank you to anyone who interacts in any way, leaving comments. Oh my goodness, thank you ever so much, everyone who comments. That makes it always makes my day when I see your comments. Thank you very much. If you'd like to support the channel in a more consistent way, then the Patreon's the way to do that, and that gives you access to the Foolish Fish Discord. I think that's about everything. Thank you ever so much for watching, folks. Do take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye-bye.